How's it going, everyone? My name is Ghetto Ginger, and today we're going to be talking about No Man's Sky. Now, a lot of people might be wondering what this video is exactly about, and I'm just going to break it down simply. So, there's a new update coming out this week. It's called No Man's Sky Origins, or Update Origins. And here are a couple of predictions that I'm going to be listing in this video. I would say about 3 out of the 5 are predictions, and the other 2 are just what I would hope that they would add. Um, that's honestly what I have to say about that because I don't know. I hope it's a big update. I really hope it's a big update. I'm super excited, but I'm also skeptical because I don't know. This is the first big update I've been a part of. I've been playing No Man's Sky for about 130 hours. I only bought it like mid-summer, I believe, and here I am freaking loving the game. So let's get right into my first point though, and that is going to be, let's see here, pull up my script, and that's going to be space PvP. Now a lot of people might be wondering what I mean by this, and now I love PvP. Okay, that's just my biggest thing. I love PvP in a lot of different kind of MMOs like ESO. I love PvP in that game, and currently, I don't know. I just any kind of game that is kind of that has an MMO-esque or like a exploration, but with still multiplayer tied into it. I just feel it has so much potential to be a good PvP game as well. Uh, like think about it like this. All right, so if you were to go to the anomaly, right, and you were to go in and you were to sign up at the Nexus for a PvP event, and that PvP event is taking your freighter and your frigates, like your fleet, and putting you into a match against another person. And you get in your starship and you fight each other and you try to destroy each other's ships and all that. You don't lose any materials, obviously. That would really suck if you were to have all your shit stored on your ship and you lost it all in a fight. No, that would be horrible. I would obviously be totally against that. What I am for though is signing up in the Nexus for PvP event. Your frigates and your freighter fight each other. And I think they should increase the damage of the lasers. As you can see here when I'm getting hit in this video, I don't take much damage. I think they should increase the damage of those. And then also, I think they should add, you should be able to buy as many starships as your frigates and your freighter can hold, but you could still only pilot the 6, but you can interchange the ones, that you have. And all those fighters and everything are placed on your frigates, and that's how you fight. And the PvP events. All your fighters just get up and go into the fray, and same with the enemy's fighters, and you just freaking have a whole dogfight in the middle of space above a planet. Maybe it's above your home world, maybe it's above your base, or like all kinds of shit could happen. And I feel they could do a lot, and that's my biggest thing about that. All right, let's get into the next point here, which is going to be procedurally generated cities. Now, my biggest thing about this, okay, it's a big one. It's a big one. All right, it's a big one. This is what I think is going to be in the update, and the reason why I think it is, and oh man, it's a tough one. I have in this segment, it's a pretty long talk. We're gonna be here, so grab your snacks. So I all right, let's see. So on Reddit a while ago, I saw that someone mentioned, him and I kind of had the similar ideas about this, that procedurally generated cities on planets are so rare, like super rare. Right now, currently, there's derelict freighters, and you get coordinates. You pay like a shit ton of money for them, and you get the coordinates and to go to this derelict freighter. In my opinion, I think that's a perfect system to find these generated cities. The derelict freighter is procedurally generated. Why can't they have cities as well? Kind of, in a similar aspect. You buy coordinates and you have to go and find it. You can't just stumble across. Well, maybe you can, but that probably just takes a lot of exploring. But yeah, that's honestly what I think is what they should do. Now let's look at this clip. All right, so I have a couple reasons why I showed that clip. One of the reasons why that had audio and nothing, and not really much else you've seen has it, is because that is one of my favorite things to do in this game is going to space stations, because that sound of docking or going in your freighter and docking as well is just So cool. Like so cool. Imagine that being in a city, like you're coming over like a planet like right now and then you just see a city pop up and you see that those green circles highlight and you're about to land and it makes that sound and oh god, that would be so freaking sick. Yeah. No, that honestly would make my day every single time I play that game or this game. Yeah, and honestly, I think that's how they could do it is make generated cities super rare, so that way it doesn't take it hurts your computer or your console as much, and the frame drop isn't as big. Um, and I also think that I'm not too sure if I'd be willing to have cities be explorable with multiple people because that would definitely like server latency and all that kind of shite. Like basically you you would worry about frame drop and ping and all the time in big cities like that. So I guess I'd be curious about how they would do that. Um, but that's what I want. Now let's take a look at some pictures here. So this picture, these are like fan art, obviously, and I'm not too sure who made this one. I found both of these on Reddit, so I'm not. I actually have no idea who made these. And if you guys do know who made these, please comment down below so that way I can credit them because I would love because like these capture exactly what I think a No Man's Sky city should look like because the architecture in No Man's Sky between the space stations and like all the different species, I feel like we could see some really cool shit. So this picture right here is really cool. Let's look at it a little bit. As you can see in the top left, there's some kind of planet that's like rupturing. It makes me think that this right here is a moon. Because the planet next to it is smoldering. It's like it looks like it's about to fucking break apart. You know. um, so I don't know. All of this right here just looks so sci-fi, and I love it. And I think No Man's Sky could look exactly like this. Definitely in the future, though. Procedurally generated cities might be hard right now, at least with the current consoles. So when the next gen comes out, maybe they might, bring out the cities. Who knows? Maybe in this update coming out, there's settlements, not necessarily cities. We shall see. But in the next picture is what I really want to show you. This one is definitely a fan art for No Man's Sky. Like I saw in the description on Reddit that like whoever made it plays the game, and this is what they thought cities should look like. It's a little, unfortunately, it's a little, what do you call it? It's portrait. It's not horizontal. So sorry about that, guys. It's not landscape. But I mean, just look at it though. You could see the no that like starship freaking swerving around over the water about to enter the city. It got that big beam of light going up into the sky. Like that looks like a city in No Man's Sky to me. That is what I think a city would look like. Um, and if they have procedure generated cities on like non-flourishing planets, like low gravity and all that, I guess that would be really. I wouldn't want to say. I don't know. I feel what I'm looking for. I guess I would say I don't agree that. Um, I think it should be. I think it should be different. I think cities and should be on flourishing planets mainly because that's where you would put them. Why would you put them on a low gravity planet? That's just my opinion. So I think when you find planets that have cities, they should all be bountiful. Maybe some storms and all that, but definitely like lush planets. That's where we should find the cities. In this picture, you don't really see too much grass and all that. You just see rocks, water, and city, and a red moon. I assume that's what that is. But other than that, that picture captures exactly what I think a generated city should look like. Now let's get into the next one. Let's see, look anything here. Okay, so the next one is going to be Starship customization. Now, this should have been added a long time ago, in my opinion. Because I'm going to say that in my opinion a lot because this video is 100% opinionated. Like a lot of people will disagree with what I think should be added to No Man's Sky and what shouldn't be added. And to them, I'm just saying again, like I just love the game. These are just some thoughts that I want to share. And one of the things that I see is they have a system in place for scrapping ships, as you can see on the screen right now. My opinion, I think they should, as soon as you scrap a ship, all those designs for that starship are now like known by you. And therefore, when you go back to to that scrapper or whatever, you can take parts from previous ships that you've dismantled and apply them, which would be really freaking cool. And another thing is frigate customization, as well as freighter too. I would love it if they added more in-depth freighter and starship customization, mainly for starship, of course. But what I want to see for the freighter is, what is it? Interchanging the weapons on the freighter. You know, like you can. Oh man, that would just be so freaking cool. Instead of just a whole bunch of green lasers shooting up into shooting up into space, you know, you would see like all these different kinds of weapons shooting at the starships that are attacking you. And yeah, that's honestly what I would love from that is, well, mainly for the starship customization. I want to customize my colors, and same with my frigates too. I want my fleet to look the same. You know, I want my freighter is currently, you know, black and red, and I want all my frigates to be black and red, but they're all different colors because I bought them from different fleets. You know, like now, so a lot of people might be like thinking like, well, you know, you could what do you call it? You could, if you have PC, you could go into the No Man's Sky save editor and, you know, like generate different seeds for like the frigates and all that. Like that sounds like just a lot of work, to be honest. I'd much rather just go into the game, go into my and to customize my fleet, manage my fleet, and change the colors just all around. Like that'd be pretty freaking sick. Honestly, that's what I want. Yeah, and then like, this clip right here, you know, it's I mean, look, I mean, you get to customize. You don't get to customize, but like one of the biggest, not biggest, one of the most fun things I do in this game is you know, fix my my frigates. Sometimes I even send them on missions that are like way too difficult for them, just so they get damaged. And I know that's really shitty to say, especially for some of them might not come back because the ship can get destroyed. But it's like I love frigate and fleet management. You know, I like strategy games, and you know, I like, you know, I like managing my fleet. You know, I like doing that, and only thing I can do is fix it. I can't actually like do much else aside from fixing whatever is wrong with it. Now, like, listen to this. Listen to the sound. Freaking amazing, right? Like that's just that sound of fixing your frigate. Like whatever's wrong with it, whether it be like the engine, and like the pulse engine comes back online. You see like the engine like basically like turn on, and like, oh god, this is so freaking sick. I just love to see that everywhere else. All right, next thing I want to talk about is new biomes. It was a little late there, but that's okay. New biomes is going to be pretty cool. What I also want to talk about is poles on planets. Like one of my homies said this, and when I messaged him like, yo, you play No Man's Sky, like what would you want? And he's like, I think seasons and poles would be pretty cool. And I don't think seasons can be a thing, at least not right now. But poles is, I feel like that's fairly easy. And not really much has to happen at the poles, I don't think. Like if it's a blissful planet and there's no storms, excuse me. If it's a blissful planet and there's no storms, then I don't see the point in what do you call it? Adding storms to the poles. I get like that probably might be a little bit too much. I also think I agree that seasons would be really cool, but I don't think we're going to be able to see that. I think that's just too much for the game, at least right now. But poles, I agree with that. And new biomes is definitely going to be a thing. I mean, we'll look here in just a little bit about the new picture, the new poster for the No Man's Sky Origins update. And we'll take a in-depth look here at it. And I want to show you something really cool that I think is going to be added. We'll talk about here in just a second. But what I want to talk about more is just the new biomes, which is honestly what I think should be added a long time ago. I got real sick of finding Flourishing and Bountiful and Blissful and all those planets and the only difference was just the soil on the top was either orange, red, blue, or green, or pink. I think I saw a pink one. Um, I'm not too sure. All I know is it's just all the colors. That's basically the only difference. Like occasionally some differences in trees, and the main difference you see is animals. I'd say some animals look very very weird, and some animals look really really weirder. um, like a snake that has no, like, it doesn't slither, it just hops around. It's just like the head of a serpent. That's just weird. Point is, I think it should add new biomes. All right, let's get into the next segment here. All right, and that's going to be gas giants. All right, now I 100% think this is going to be added into the next update. Now, the reason why I think that is because if we check out the poster here, I think, all right, so there's all the updates. We're going to take a close look at the No Man's Sky Origins right there in the bottom right. There it is. And boom, there's Jupiter. So look at the planet right next to it. If you look closely, and unfortunately I can't really enhance the image as well, as good, sorry. But if you look closely at the planet on the in the picture, there's a whole bunch of hurricanes on there, and I swear it's the same on the on Jupiter. All right, now check this out. This is just bonus round, just a couple things that I think should also be added. Not nothing too big, but main thing here is more interesting missions for different species. If you go to the space station, you have missions that you can do to get standing for. Like Viking, the Korvax and the Gek, and to be honest, I think that's cool. Like that's awesome. However, I just think they should make them less of a chore list. I mean, like, you have to go scan or kill animals, or you have to go find a new planet. I don't know. All I know is, like, I just don't feel like quests, I guess, to me. And that's what I would really like in this game, is like a quest format. Let's see here. Like, for example, like the Viking, maybe you go, since they're a warrior race, maybe you go attack another species, like fleet in another system or something like that. And like the PvP is like, or like the PvE content just gets like a huge revamp, and fighting in space is like, I don't know, like, I just remember looking at the original trailers for No Man's Sky space fighting. It just looks so much better than what it is right now. And I guess I get that it's because they overpromised at the time, but I don't really want to get into that now because they've delivered a lot. So it's not like they abandoned the game, and I'm not trying to diss them or anything like that. Absolutely not. Hello Games has obviously put a lot of time into this game. So what I want to get into the next, though, is also multiple passenger starships. I guess you could say this could go into starship customization, but in my opinion, I don't think so. I think with starship customization, multiple passenger starships, it's a little different. I mean, sure, maybe you have your single passenger and then you can upgrade it to get another passenger, but it's whatever. I just want, like, let's see, like, your freighter is a big giant ship, but I feel freighter is more like, what would you call I guess a transport ship, and that way it could hold like 4 people, or it could hold your entire party. That way one person just has to fly. I don't know. There's just a lot of things there that I think they could do. Just make it more fun to go adventuring with your buddy. Like if you're really doing a joint survival mode, and you guys are like building up, a base and all that, I think it'd make more sense to travel together than it would be to travel separately. I mean, yes, you have starships that are your own ship, but traveling together is really fun. One thing I want to show here is, as you can see, like, I'm about to go into this black hole, and black holes are more or less wormholes. I think that's awesome, but I think they should make them easier to charter. Because sometimes when I pop out of a wormhole, I'm on the other side of the galaxy, and I'm still on the outer edge. I'm nowhere close to the center. A lot of people say, like, yeah, you get closer to the center each jump. It's like, I don't think you do. Some of them bring you back to where you started. Some of them get you closer. I think, I don't know. I can't tell if this universe is explored by every species, because if they have space stations in every single system except the abandoned ones, then I think either wormholes should lead you to abandoned um, star systems, or they can be plotted. Um, that's honestly what I think. And next thing I want to get in here is better combat mechanics. Now, as you can see here, I'm really struggling trying to fight this walker and these little freaking sentinel bots or whatever they're called. And yeah, I'm trying to get some walker brains for a couple of starships that I got for my fleet, and it's proving to be difficult here because right now I ran out of ammo for my rocket launcher, or pulse cannon. I don't know what you call it, but yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Um, I just think they should better combat mechanics. Like make it seem more. I don't know. Right now it's just like your gun, your multi tool is like it's everything. It's a blaster and it's a mining machine. In my opinion, I think they should change that. I think blasters and mining tools should be different. That way, combat mechanics don't really tie in with the multi tool. You're not really bound by how you use the multi tool. Um, that's just my opinion on some of the things going on with No Man's Sky today, guys. If you like today's video, I appreciate a like, comment, subscribe. Don't have to if you don't want to. I'm a fairly small channel, so I'm not really making any money off this. This is just me just expressing my opinions and what I think No Man's Sky could do to make the game a lot better. If you like the video, again, please like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.